You guys, thanks for joining me again. This is fun because I get to talk to you with somebody next to me, and not only is this guy next to me somebody that I work with, but it's also someone I like. So I'm here with Doug, and Doug is a commercial broker in our group. My name is Mark Hulsey. I'm the managing broker of Results Commercial. We're a commercial investment boutique firm in Minneapolis, St. Paul, Minnesota, and I am here with Doug Harris, or I guess we should be formal, Douglas Harris.
Yes, please.
Douglas Harris. We're here with Douglas Harris. And Doug's worked with our group for the past, 2-3 years?
I was looking at that, I think since 2018.
Yeah, so we're probably year 3.
Yeah.
So it's time to celebrate probably an anniversary or something. So Doug's wonderful to have in our group because that's the whole idea about a team is not only does team give you depth, but it gives you enjoyment of coming to the office. You get personalities, you get some different people, and I love working with Doug. Doug and I team up on a lot of work, and so that's a really wonderful thing when we get to team up. And I've been a little bit like a mentor, and the reason I've been a little bit like a mentor is because Doug's background, interestingly, you guys, Doug came from residential real estate. And we are not residential real estate people. We are commercial investment people. We don't sell houses. We are only commercial investment. And I am one that is extraordinarily cautious about the idea of adding somebody who's come from the residential side to come over to the other side of the fence and work on commercial investment. Because it is very, very different in just about every single way. So let me start with that, Doug. So when Doug came and he said, you know what, I want to do what you do. And I'm like, are you sure? And he's like, no, I'm sure. And I'm like, well, I'm not so sure. I said, because it's going to take a tremendous amount of dedication to come over here and learn this big world of commercial real estate. And it's going to take you working on your CCIM and all this other kind of thing. So what's it been like? I mean, what do you think? In a few years later, coming from the house side over to our commercial side, what do you think?
It's a great question. Yeah, I feel like my life has changed quite a bit. I mean, the residential side is wonderful in its own way, but I have an 8-year-old at home, so that comes into play here quite a bit. I wanted to spend more time with my child. I'm dealing with business people here, whereas on a residential side, it's a totally different ball game because you're finding there's so much emotion that goes into the home in finding a home. Whereas on the commercial side, dealing with business people, they work business hours, and it's a totally different ball game. So I get to spend more time with my child. Weekends are not quite as hectic, and it's more of working those business hours.
So what would you say for anyone who might be thinking about this, and we talk about that learning curve? So as I was kind of waving the warning flags to you as you thought about coming over to this side, I'm like, are you sure? Because again, there's all kinds of things like a much slower sales cycle. You take a house, many times you might list a house and you might be in and out of that thing in 30, 45 days or something like that. And sometimes we're just getting warmed up after 30 days as we're selling that office building or retail building. But what would you say about the learning curve? Has it been more than you thought to learn, less? What do you think?
I think it's a huge learning curve. There's just so many different aspects to it, whether it's environmental, whether it's zoning. And as you had recommended, I started taking courses to learn some of these things to get up to speed so that I would know exactly what I'm talking about.
Tell me about that, Doug. So you're working on, so Doug is our shop, we're a CCIM shop. So I'm so proud because to get your CCIM is no small feat. And we are very much a CCIM. So CCIM has been good for you, yes, going through the education process.
CCIM has been great.
Okay.
I mean, it's a great foundation. When you start taking the courses and then you're simultaneously working on deals, everything starts making sense. And again, for me, it's about having that conversation with buyers, sellers, landlords, tenants, and being able to speak to them with experience and also knowing exactly what I'm talking about there. So CCIM has been great. I've taken all the courses. I'm waiting on the testing, which is in the next couple of months.
Fantastic.
So that'll be done.
Good.
So it's been great.
So, I know you're a young man,
Very young.
but you have a history before real estate, right? So there's a little bit of a history with Doug before real estate, and it's a pretty kind of an interesting, kind of a cool history. So let's talk just for a second about that. So I know you were, what, a LA guy, a New York City guy, and worked in the film biz with some pretty big names back in the day. So what's the quick story on that?
Well, I've kind of been all over the country. I grew up in Virginia. Moved to New York, went to school in New Jersey, went to school in London for a little while, lived in New York, worked in the film industry there. And then, of course, the film industry is either you're in New York or you're in LA. So I did my New York stint there for a good decade, moved to LA for a couple of years, and then ended up here.
Yeah, and
chasing my wife.
There you go. I was going to say, why in the heck are you in flyover country here in the great Midwest? But once again, it oftentimes has to do with partner, spouse, a lady.
Definitely.
And that's what's got you here. Interesting. So we're a boutique firm. So we're a small commercial investment firm, and we're small on purpose. We really just kind of want to be very super duper picky about the people that we work with, the kind of work that we do. And that's what I love about working within a boutique firm, is being able to be, super smart and give a really great quality service. Give me a sense over these past few years, what are some of the things that you and I have worked on? So
I love the fact that we're a boutique firm, because I do get to work with so many different clients. As I mentioned before, landlords, tenants, buyers, sellers. Some of the buyers I've worked with have been great. I put a salon in St. Louis Park. I put a restaurant down in Cottage Grove.
Sushi restaurant or something,
Sushi
right?
Restaurant, yeah. Been there. It's really good.
Good.
Worked with some financial planners, put them in a huge office building in St. Louis Park. What else? I sold a couple buildings. You helped me sell that building on University Avenue in St. Paul, which is a great area for growth there. Just sold a building in Mounds View. Who else have been working? I'm working with a religious group right now.
Yeah, so really an interesting mix. I mean, you've done big transportation, and we sold a tough bar in a challenging redevelopment area, and so I think it's awesome, because again, every time you get, in fact, one of the buildings you just got done selling, then you turned right around and you sold the business component of it, and that was a tax business. And so H&R Block was the buyer, right? So here we are, that Doug is able to first sell the building, then after the building is sold, he's able to take the business that was in the building, owned by a gal who was about 80 years old or so she was getting ready to retire, and he was able to now take that business and sell it. He was able to convey that to a mega giant, H&R Block. And I'll tell you what, you guys, there's nothing easy about navigating those waters. This is tricky stuff. It really is. And I watched Doug do that. This was actually, I'm kind of standing back going, boy, if you can get this one done, more power to you, because it takes tremendous patience, unbelievable detail, and he got it done. And I'm delighted that you did. Congratulations on that.
Thanks.
So I love working with you, but is there anything else to tell these guys? Anything else as we...
I love working here. I love working with you and Hayden. It's been great. As you mentioned, you're my mentor. You've taught me a great amount of information. The flexibility means a lot to me. Being able to do work with buyers, tenants, landlords, sellers, it just keeps it interesting. It keeps it fun.
Well, good. No, I mean, we're so serious about our fiduciary responsibility. We're serious about our client service. If somebody isn't completely on top of that, then we've got really mega problems, because it is about serving the client. But then again, we're also a really family-first company, and we've been a family-first company since day one. That's the way it is. And Doug's a family man, I'm a family man. It's just the way we are. And so that whole idea about figuring out the balance between all of this isn't some rhetoric. This is what we do. And whether Doug's taking care of his son, especially during these times when he's at home or anything else. So love having you here. I hope this is a good chance to meet Douglas Harris. I hope you get a chance to work with him like I do. And I hope you follow us on YouTube. So we're commercial investment, real estate investing. Doug understands investment as a CCIM cat, gets all this stuff. Follow us on YouTube, subscribe to our channel, I would love it. Resultscommercial.com is our website, and we're on all the social media platforms, so I hope you'll check us out, and I appreciate you joining us today. Thank you.